All right, here we go. Welcome. This is the SuperMotocross World Championship Finals, fueled by Monster Energy. It is the final of the 31 race season of Supercross, Motocross, and SuperMotocross together. Welcome to our final Friday press conference. I'm Jason Wygant and Jason Thomas. We are the SMX Insiders. We welcome fans, we welcome the media, and all the partners that help make this possible, this championship all year long. Monster Energy, Fly Racing, Progressive Insurance, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Alpine Stars, Thor, the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, and most importantly, of course, the athletes, the teams, and the OEMs, the manufacturers who support this championship and have made it very, very fun to watch so far. And a special thanks to the folks watching on our live stream right now and our broadcast partners, of course, at NBC and Peacock, who have been cool enough to put this on the air every week since January. And boy, do we have a show ready for you on Saturday night. It is a Saturday night race, by the way. A little different than the schedule of the last 2 weeks. I'll just tell you that real quick. So for TV purposes, everything we will say is Eastern time, even though we are Pacific here. Race day live. Qualifying starts at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 here at the track. That's our qualifying show. And then we will have 9:30 will be our pre-race show. That's 9:30 Eastern, our pre-race show. And at 10 Eastern, 7 o'clock here, we'll drop the gates and go racing tomorrow night. Yes, it is a night race. We had 2 afternoon races the last 2 weeks. So fans at home, keep that in mind. Brief recap of what we've done so far, JT. It's probably been better than even expected. Yes, we knew that the point scenario, triple points, creates a winner-take-all scenario more often than not. But I don't know, JT, if we thought it'd be 3 riders. And also, let's not forget spoilers, the likes of Eli Tomac, who could get in there, still points, or even this championship. It's that good.
Yeah, it's the true winner-take-all scenario. I thought last year it played out perfectly. This is one-upping last year's performance. So it's been spectacular. Hunter really, I thought, stepped up to the plate last week. He added a whole new level to the drama that was already unfolding. What more could you ask for? These stakes, this level of prestige, and the circumstances that we have.
Yep. And we have 3 classes racing. We'll have the top 3 in each group. Up here, we'll start with the World All-Stars 250 division. Then we'll have the top 3 ranked in points in the 250 class and the top 3 in the 450 class. That'll be our panel of athletes today. If you want to get the first group started, JT.
Yeah, let's bring up the Super Mini World All-Stars. And
250.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes, I don't know why it says Super Mini. 250 World All-Stars, and these are all riders that either won a Supercross Futures race or a Motocross Combine, and there are 3 of them. The first of which is Drew Adams.
He's coming.
Bring up Cole Davies. And Australia's Caden Minear. Started off with Drew Adams. A lot of success this year. Canada, you also raced the Ironman National as well. Can you tell us some of the experience you've gained and what it means to drop back down into this SMX event and another chance at another win?
Oh, I gained a lot of experience over the past year with all the futures rounds, and I raced 1 Moto Combine, and then, I got to dip my toes in the water at Ironman, and that was a big experience, and it's definitely a different battlefield out there, and I learned a lot, and yep, I had to unfortunately drop back down to the amateur ranks, but I'm just here to do my business.
All right, we'll open it up to the media. We do have microphones going around. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Antonovich with Swap Moto Live. This will be for Caden Amir. Caden, you came to Ironman and were a complete surprise. That first Moto win in the Moto Combine was unbelievable, and I don't think anybody really knew who you were up to that point. Then to find out you're another Aussie kid coming up. How does it feel to be here, and what is the lifetime goal to be up in the stage this weekend?
Yeah, it's been awesome being here in the States. It's a pretty cool experience. First time racing in the States at Ironman, so that was cool. The future plans are to stay here and race in the US, so hopefully we can sort out a deal for next year.
Kellen Brower here with Start Your Systems. Drew Adams, you're a different rider this year than you were last year, obviously racing this event. How much do you feel like you have progressed from that point last year to this point right now?
I think I've just matured a lot, The speed last year was way, way different, and LA last year was good, but I've definitely progressed. I've done a lot of racing this year. That was kind of like the goal for me all year, was just to race and get gate drops. I went up to Canada and stuff, and so that definitely helped me a lot. I've got a lot stronger and stuff like that, and the plan this past year was just a race, and it definitely worked out.
Yeah, thank you. Nick Steele, MotoOnline.com for Caden Minear. Caden, if you can just talk about the experience you've had here in the USA for the last month and sort of what you wanted out of it, and are you ticking these boxes and, you know, to sit up there on that stage, what's that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, the plan was to come here and make a statement and get out my name, and I think that first race at Ironman, I did just that. Obviously, we've been at Daniel Blair and Jessica Patterson's in South Carolina the last month, so that's been really good, and I'm just fortunate to be here, and I'm excited to get racing.
A question for Cole. So much Supercross success this year, but it really felt like motocross-wise, Ironman was that breakout moment for you. Did that kind of give you that next level of confidence? Because Loretta Lynn's was a little bit of a struggle, but you really seemed to put your best foot forward at Ironman.
Yeah, definitely felt good at Ironman. Back on Supercross. Yeah, I'm excited.
Would you say then, Cole, Supercross, is that more of your thing? You take to this a little bit more quickly?
Yeah, so I definitely like it. It's more fun. I like Supercross better, but I'd probably say I'm better at it too, yeah.
You're from Australia, and you're from New Zealand. Have you guys raced each other, like, long before you came over here?
Oh, way back, I think last time was like 2016, so on 65, so it's been a long time, so it's pretty cool to be back racing with him.
So you raced him back in the day?
Yeah, I think it was 2017 Renmark. Was it Renmark?
Yes, something like that. That was one of them.
Yeah. That's pretty wild to come back and meet here on this stage. Do we have more questions from the press?
Hey, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Drew, when you come and race Super Motocross, how do you prepare for that and know that you're ready for when you arrive here in Las Vegas?
Well, usually what we do at the compounds is we cut down the Supercross tracks a little bit and add some motocross sections. So with us, we've put in a little bit of a turn track, a rougher turn track for this type of dirt out here, you know. But I honestly think this weekend's going to be a little bit more motocrossy, is what it looks like. You know, there's a lot of high-speed sections in the back, and there's just a couple rhythm sections. But yeah, to prepare, you just cut out the whoops on a Supercross track and add some flat turns, and that's it.
Question for Drew Adams. It's Clinton Fowler, SMX Insider. Drew, you've had a lot of accomplishments this year. What would it mean to go out tomorrow and win here?
It's just kind of one more thing I'm trying to check off. Definitely would look good for my future for sure. But yeah, I've won this race once before, and I'm just trying to do it again.
This one's for Drew Adams, Jet Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. You did a pro race a couple weeks ago out at Ironman. To drop back to the amateur bike, was that a big adjustment period for you?
It's not that big of an adjustment. You know, there's definitely some things I miss about the pro bike for sure. But yeah, speed-wise, it's actually not that bad now that I've come back to the amateur bike. And so yeah, I wouldn't say that there's a big jump.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Cole Davies, this is for you. With being on such a pristine team as Star Yamaha, have you been able to ride much with your teammates, and have they been mentors toward you as far as teaching you any new abilities and such?
Yeah, riding with them every day, and yeah, it's definitely cool riding with the pros and stuff like that. They've definitely helped me out quite a bit. Training with Swanee too, and yeah, it's been good.
For you, Caden, what kind of experience do you have with Supercross type? We're going to have those types of obstacles here. Is this new for you, or have you done it before?
It's pretty new. I only just started riding Supercross probably last year. Went to the first round, ate crap, got put in hospital. So that's about all my Supercross experience I have.
That's the only one you did in the end?
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned South Carolina. You're preparing. Do they have a Supercross type of track there to get ready for this?
Yeah, so we've made a SuperMotocross track, so we've put a bit of a motocross extension on it, so that's been really cool. Took away the whoops, so yeah, it's been cool.
So it's gone better than that first round last year?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Yeah, it's better than that. Okay. We have more questions here for our 250 World All-Stars.
Question for Drew.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. Everybody's planning 2025. Thought about what that's going to look like for you, mix in some pro racing, some amateur racing, or will you make the full jump?
As of right now, I'm just trying to put in good results. I've definitely had some stuff come up right now, but I'm not making any full decisions as of right now, just trying to put in results, and hopefully we can sneak into some Supercross this year.
Sophie?
Next year.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I have a question for Drew. We know that coming back here to this SMX All-Stars race, obviously you're coming here hoping to win. What else do you feel like you can gain as far as maybe experience and skills from being here to prepare you for your pro experience next year?
I think it's just more track time on these type of tracks. Obviously I will have to race SMX next year as a pro, hopefully, and I've done a lot of these combines and futures and whatnot, and I definitely learn a little bit more every weekend. But I would just say, getting more time on the track for sure.
For both our New Zealand racer and our Australian racer, I want to ask you both. I'll start with you, Cole. We just take for granted we see so many international riders racing out here. We probably forget how difficult that is. So just talk about how you pulled this off in the first place when you came over last year and early this year. Mom and dad together, or was someone staying home? How did you even pull that off to be able to live here and do this?
Yeah, Dad is staying at home working, and I'm living over here with Mom. It was definitely pretty difficult coming across the whole world, pretty much. It's definitely a different atmosphere over here.
And then how has it worked for you here this last month? Everybody with you, or are you on your own? How does that all work?
Me and Dad flew over first. Mum's over here now, but kind of just working in and out. Dad obviously has to work to fund all my stuff, so yeah, that's been tricky, but it's been a cool experience. Obviously, it's my first time racing in America, so it's been really cool.
I think that's going to do it for our World All-Stars 250 riders. All right, round of applause for these three. Good job, boys. And there'll be a full gate of World All-Star riders, some of them household names, even though they are technically amateurs. You'll recognize them tomorrow, so we wish them luck when they go racing. We will move on now to the 250 class. We will invite the top three in the SMX points to come on up. And we'll start with the point leader, Hayden Deegan. Second in the championship, Tom Viel. And third ranked, Levi Kitchen. I'll start with one for you, Hayden. It's not great news. Even though you have a big point lead and you've won all the motos, you still have to finish third if Tom wins because of triple points. Is that something you're even thinking about at all, or are you just going to try to win and not even think about that scenario?
No, I'm not worried about it. The goal is just to go win. Just do the same thing that I've done the last 2 weeks, and it should pay off.
Go to the media.
All right, Hayden, for you, we'll keep it going on that same thing. It's been a long year, and you know everything that happened from the East Coast Supercross season, building, working, all of that, a dominant outdoor season, and then these last couple weeks. How's it feel to get closer to the finish line and look back on everything that you've done?
Yeah, definitely. This year's been really good. It's definitely nice knowing that we have a little bit of a break coming up because it's definitely a grind this year. I mean, shoot, the 450 guys do even more races than us, and it's still a grind for us. But, yeah, one more to go, and hopefully we can add one more championship to the list.
Clinton Fowler, this question's for Tom and Levi. What's it going to take to beat Hayden knowing he's taken the last 4 motos?
I think the start is going to be important, especially if it's last weekend the track was really dry, and I mean obviously it's pretty hot here, so I mean with the dirt it's going to be, I think, pretty dry and maybe tough to pass. So the start is going to be important, key for the race, and I'm going to fight till the end, that's for sure.
Yeah, pretty much what Tom said. Is this thing working? Yeah, there we go. And yeah, just hope he gets starts like he did at Charlotte, and we start up front is really what we got to pray for. So it should be fun.
I still won, though. I still won.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. There we go. Dan Beaver, NBC Sports for Tom. Presuming you get that good start, are there any provisions, plans to be made aware of where Hayden is riding on the track, or do you not even care?
I mean, I still don't know. I haven't ride on the track, but obviously last weekend I felt really good on it. second moto, I was fast. I just start like around 8, 6. I mean, between 6 and 8. And when Aiden is got 2 hot shot, is obviously if you don't start second or third, like it's really difficult to fight. And I was actually a little bit faster trying to catch, but yeah, obviously I have the same feeling this weekend, and we're gonna try to fight, yeah, for sure till the end.
Hey, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Hayden, I wanted to get your take on the SMX format, the 2 motos, the way it is, just in terms of the race format itself. What's your take on that, and how important are the starts across those?
Yeah, definitely 3 rounds, and especially the last round. I mean, shoot, I've won every moto, and I still have to. I mean, if Tom wins, I still have to get 3rd to win the championship. It's kind of crazy how that format works, but I think it keeps you on your toes, and it's also really good for me too, because when I have a challenge put ahead in front of me, that's when I excel. So, yeah, 1 round to go, and it's definitely going to be a challenge because you got to go out and win, and just got to do the same thing I've done the last 2 rounds.
Zach Newberry, Motocross.com, Transworld Motocross. This question is for Hayden. After Charlotte, you said that you really wanted to work on getting the starts and kind of cleaning up your race. After Texas, you get the start, you win. Did you work on anything this week heading into this Super Motocross World Championship final?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Charlotte, I made it hard on myself. I mean, it did distill something in my head where it doesn't matter if I get the start. I feel like I can win. But besides that, I was like, I want to make it a lot easier on myself. 2 hole shots at the last round made it a whole lot easier to win. So the goal, just this week, do the same thing as the week before and see if it pays off.
Nick Still, MotoOnline.com. This will be for Levi. Levi, in the past week, what are some of the things you picked up on, from the last round to work on and to try and get this job done on Saturday night?
Yeah, honestly, I struggled pretty bad last week. So really this week I just maybe rested a little bit more and try to come into this race a little bit more fresh. So just like Hayden said, or all of us, it's been a pretty long season. So it's important to manage, just your energy and, riding during the week. Like, you obviously want to get better, but it's pretty hard to gain anything this time of year.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. Hayden, how important is the sweep of all 6 motos for you? If you're in that position in the 6th moto where you maybe comfortably have the overall already wrapped up and the title, are you going to be pushing forward just to get that sweep?
Yeah, the goal, that's a good goal to try and sweep a series. So, obviously the championship is what everyone remembers, so that's the main goal. And obviously I have to do stuff to get that championship, but the 1-1 is also a goal too that I want to try to achieve.
Hayden, you've done obviously really well. You won the title last year in these 4 motos. Do you actually find these types of tracks are actually working better for you, or is it just kind of coming together at the right time?
Yeah, 100%. I'm a Cali kid, so get me on a hard pack track, and I can go as fast as I want pretty much. So that's how these Vegas will be in the last round, as you guys seen. So, yeah, shoot, when you get on the Cali style dirt, I really enjoy it, and I'm comfortable, and I know where like the edge is. I can push the edge really hard there. So, yeah, it should be good.
Just as a follow that for Levi, it seemed like this summer a lot of the tracks where you had ruddy conditions or somewhere you could really use to pivot off corners versus SMX where the turns have been flat, not as many berms, stuff like that. Is there anything specifically you can work on during the week or change the bike up to help you in that scenario?
Yeah, honestly, more so last weekend during the race. I made a big swing in between the first and second moto, and I still didn't ride great in the second moto, but it was definitely better than the first one. So, yeah, I wish it was like maybe raining right now and it was going to be all rutted, but that's not the case, so I just got to adapt.
Michael Lindsay from BioMX. My question's for Hayden Deegan. Hayden, compared to last year, same thing, coming into the final round, you have a chance again last year, a little bit harder chance to get to the title. You did win every race this year, but it's still, the way this SMX series is, you still have to perform to take the W. So you're not very rewarded for winning the 4 motos so far. If you had the opportunity or the option, if you could make the standard Supercross or Outdoor Series shorter and get a longer SMX series that would reward you more for being dominant, would you prefer that as a rider, or do you guys like that this SMX series is super short?
Yeah, I feel like I can't really complain about our series because we're doing half the races in Supercross that the 450 guys are doing, so I don't really have the status to complain about that yet. But, again, I feel like I kind of like how the outdoor series is long. It's like a gritty season where it just kind of prevails the guy that wants to, grit it out the hardest. So I think the series, how they have it right now, is actually pretty good.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Deegan, this one's for you. Father-son dynamics have been inherently difficult, and especially moving into the pros. How is it that you and your dad and your family dynamic set yourself apart, making you guys the exception rather than the rule?
Yeah, I just think, everyone that excels in the sport kind of has their family really tight around them. So my dad has obviously helped me a lot, and he definitely knows picking parts and pieces to help me from people. So he just takes those, studies those, and he's always there to help me. So, and if I'm there, take it in. That's the main thing, to not have one of those relationships where you butt heads with your dad, because they really do know a lot. So as long as we're getting along, I'm taking a lot of information from him.
I'm going to pause for a second for the jet.
Come for the press conference,
Good
stay
answer.
for the air show.
Yes. Good answer, Hayden. Yes, the Air Force Base is doing some really fun stuff. It's almost more tempting to watch that. So we'll let the noise go by and turn it back over to the media. One sec. We got another one coming by. If you folks, I don't know how well they can hear this on the live stream, but that's worth buying a ticket to today's thing just to watch that. All right, go ahead, Anton.
All right, Hayden. I've been watching all year, and the fan reaction that you get on a Friday, Saturday in the pits, the cheers by the podium and all that, you can definitely tell that you feed off the energy that people bring for you. Even here today, everybody's cheering every time you answer, and that's great. When, though, do you block that out and then are able to focus on the task at hand? Hey, I have 20 minutes in a lap that I have to go out here and do because this is my job. It's great that all these other people are here and I get energy from that, but I have to focus in. How soon before a moto do you lock in?
Yeah, I definitely obviously the fans are awesome, and my family and me have built a good fan base, and I love every one of the fans that supports me. It's super cool. But yeah, definitely before you go race, I feel like, I don't know, honestly, I'm pretty chill around the pit and stuff, but then like when I go up to the gate is when I kind of lock in and, get that mindset that I just want to, send it and pretty much take no crap. So that's the 20 minutes before the race is pretty much when I lock in.
Yeah, Nick Steele, MotoOnline.com. This will be for Hayden. Hayden, the track we have out here this weekend, take us through that. It's a little bit more wide open, and then some of the rhythm lanes there as well. Do we like the concept? Do we want more Supercross in the track? Do we want more Motocross? How do we like that balance?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the part about SMX that's good, is there's not much Supercross. It's more tight Motocross with a little bit of Supercross rhythm to throw your suspension off. But I feel like this track's a little more wide open, so it'd be a little more like Charlotte. That was, I feel like, a little more high speed, and I feel like that was really good there. So, yeah, high speed tracks I'm always good at, especially when they're hard packed. That's what I like.
Dan Beaver again, NBC Sports for Levi. Kind of expanding on Michael's question. It's going to take almost a perfect race tomorrow. How do you deal with that pressure in the morning, and is there anything that you do a little bit different to get your headspace exactly where it needs to be when you get to the gate the first time?
I don't know, man. There's really no magic way of doing things. I mean, the races I've won, I feel like it was just another normal day. So, yeah, hopefully tomorrow it's just one of those days that I feel good and can nail a couple starts and just try to do my best, really.
Hey, Levi, to follow up on that, you've also had a big year. We talk about the consistency that you had through everything. It's your first year at PC. It's learning a lot of stuff, and you've definitely taken a directive in your program of what you want to do. What would you say was the highlight of the year for you, the defining moment, and then what do you want to work on in the offseason to make 25 even better?
I'd say the highlight was probably Seattle, winning that race in front of the hometown was pretty cool, and that kind of unlocked something for me. And then the Triple Crown after that, that feeling where you feel like you can just, all that confidence and you feel like you're almost unstoppable is something obviously I strive for right now. So yeah, just going into next year, I mean, we, have a little bit of a new bike and I'm looking forward to that. And overall, I'm really happy with this season. Switching teams and everything can be a struggle sometimes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this race, but also really looking forward to next year as well.
Just have a final question for you guys. and whoever would like to answer this, how much input do each of you have versus the team when it comes to tire selection? I've noticed, Hayden ran the scoop tire in the first race last weekend, but a lot of riders are using modified tires, trying to cut them and make them also aggressive enough for the start, but also hard conditions here too. So is that something you guys are relying on the team to give you data from, or are you making the call?
Yeah, I mean, the bike setup, I feel like the teams have kind of allowed us, I mean, I don't know about the other guys, but allowed me at least to kind of put my input on the bike setup, like tire-wise, just trying different things. The team's kind of open to whatever I want to try the tire, and then suspension-wise, running the SuperCross setup. I actually like it because you go a little stiffer, too, for these tracks. It actually works, so, yeah, the team kind of lets me do what I want.
Yeah, same goes for me. I could pretty much do what I want to the bike, but as far as tires go, like, I'm pretty bad when it comes to feeling tires. All I know is, like, the scoop last weekend was insane that I seen Eli was running at the second moto. But, Hayden, were you running at second moto too? No, just first? Yeah. I don't know. That tire just on face to jumps a little gnarly. So, I don't know. We'll see tomorrow what we end up running.
Yeah, I think it depends a lot about the dirt. This weekend is going to be really outpacked, so I don't think we're going to use the scoop tire. I mean, Aiden used it the last weekend, but he changed it for the second moto, so I don't think it's the best choice. But yeah, it depends a little bit between the rider and the team, I think.
All right, that's going to do it. That is our 250 top three. Round of applause.
Now we will bring up our 450 riders, and our points leader first will be Hunter Lawrence. Followed by the Pro Motocross champion, Chase Sexton. And our Monster Energy Supercross champion and defending SMX World Champion, Jet Lawrence. First question up for Hunter. It was a big weekend for you last week, and got to speak on SMX Insider this week. But I have to ask, did you surprise yourself a little bit going in there and getting the win?
No, I don't like to say I surprised myself because I like to believe in myself and always back myself that, I belong up here and I've worked hard enough and I deserve to be able to win and stuff. So I wouldn't say it's a surprise. It's more of just like a job satisfaction, like when you finish a job and you can stand back and go, yeah, the lawn looks good or whatever, that kind of satisfaction,
Yeah, just as a follow, is it confirmation that you're on the right track a little bit too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even let's say we didn't win, there was still a lot of positives throughout the whole weekend. So you kind of try to take as many of the positives and yeah, we're still on the right track and we're still knocking on the door and stuff, but it's more of, yeah, just like that job satisfaction.
Hi, Hunter. For you, you think back to Anaheim 1, you're going into the first turn and you're on your head. You don't make the main event that night, see how the season starts, but then you see what you do through the end of it. Rookie of the Year in Supercross, Rookie of the Year in Outdoors. You have the points lead going into the last one. On that night in January, do you think that this was a possibility? And then as you look back on the whole season, you have to be in it every single weekend to get to this point, huh?
Yeah, that Anaheim 1, I can promise you I wasn't thinking about SMX in Vegas, that's for sure. I was thinking a lot of other dark things. But no, it wasn't ideal, but it was kind of a first turn crash, hit my head a bit, just one of those nights of racing, it's happened to Villapoto and James Stewart. So that's part of the sport, and just kept my head down, bum up, and keep working, and that's honestly all there is to it. Just keep showing up every day, keep a can-do attitude, and just always try to be the best version of yourself every day, even when things aren't going right.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports, sticking with Hunter. You're sitting between the Motocross champion and the Supercross champion. If you're leading, I know you and Jet have a great relationship on the track, great relationship off of it. But do your elbows get a little wider to get that third championship, the one that means so much?
Like wider for me or him? What do you mean?
Do you do anything special, extra to keep him at bay?
No, not really, because I just try to do the same thing I do every weekend. I'm not trying to change anything up, because what happens if you change the game plan and then you don't win or something else goes wrong and then you look like a fool, So you have egg on your forehead, and I think he's a understanding gentleman, and he's got enough, and Big Bro would love a little extra bonus money, so I'm sure he's gonna take that into consideration if that is the scenario. But we'll see. The city over there's a bunch of ways you can do a lot of stuff with that. So who knows?
Thank you.
Hey, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Jet, since returning, you're on the 2025 model. So how's that initial thought been, the response in the races? And then how important is this development, the early mileage, going to set you up for next season?
Yeah, no, the bike's been handling amazing lately. It's we've kind of been stuck with the same setting for the past few rounds. It's just kind of making a few minor changes to it, which is really nice. And yeah, getting on this bike earlier especially mainly for Supercross, because we did a lot of testing on the 25 for outdoor stuff with chassis and stuff like that. So we're getting a bit of an early start with that, and obviously Trey has been riding Supercross 2 to see how it is on that and kind of see what we need to do with settings and what engine mounts work and stuff like that. So we already got a bit of a head start on it even before SMX with Trey. So it's been nice, and I'm just really looking forward to it in Supercross, because we've had a bit of a kind of view of how it is in outdoors with HJ, and yeah, obviously getting it right now, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm excited for Supercross next year for sure.
Michael Lindsay, ValMX. My question's for Chase Sexton. Chase, I would say last year the SMX series had a little bit more variance across the tracks, particularly the Chicago round leaned a little more towards a pro motocross setup. This year the tracks have variance, but a little bit tighter. Considering you were the pro motocross champion, or are the current one, would you have liked to seen a little more of that variance in this year's track to play to your strengths? Or as most guys, considering it's this late in the season, is it nice just to have consistency across all three rounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first track was really fast, but they kind of tricked us because you have to run Supercross suspension for the rhythm section. So for 90% of the track, the outdoor stuff would work, but then that 10% where it's kind of techy and big G outs, you need that hold up. So I think the last weekend's track was pretty fun, but the dirt was a little bit eggy. So I think this weekend the track looks really good, and actually the dirt, I mean, I haven't raced here in Vegas since Monster Cup 2015. And the dirt looks pretty good. So, yeah, I think it should be the best track of the playoffs. But we'll see when we get out there. So I'm excited. But, yeah, I think it's kind of been more consistent this year. But also it kind of gives that SuperMotocross kind of look, because it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, Nick Still, MotoOnline.com. This will be for Jet. Sensing a sense of disappointment last weekend for you, do you sort of use that to fuel tomorrow night? And then secondly, 2019 Monster Energy Cup. That's where this started for you in America, really, and it was a win there as well.
Yes and no. Obviously, last weekend I was a little disappointed, but obviously, it gets covered up with obviously Hunter's success. So we kind of shove it aside just because obviously Hunter's first 450 overall win. So we're kind of. I don't really think about it too much. Obviously, right after I'm going through the emotions and thinking of what if I could have done this, I could have done that, and stuff like that. But you just kind of move on. I feel like I thrive in these moments of a kind of showdown in the end. Obviously, last year was a good one, and yeah, obviously Las Vegas Monster Cup was 2019. Feels like a long time ago, but ain't really. So, and yeah, hopefully we just have that bit of lady luck for this weekend too.
Zach Newberry, Motocross.com, Transworld Motocross. A question for Jet. Kind of backing off Nick's question there. Did you work on anything this week to get back onto the top? Because it looked like you were super frustrated after that one. And then a question for both you and Hunter. Did you guys look at the track, and what did you guys think?
I haven't looked at the track yet. We've seen a brief kind of thing of it. I'm very confused already. So if you see me going backwards on the track, that's why. But we haven't really, not really much change. Obviously, just logging more laps for me. Obviously, I'm a little bit down on laps from the other guys. So just trying to get more and more laps in. And yeah, just getting more consistent, less mistakes. Obviously worked on starts, reaction. This from last weekend. So, yeah, nothing too crazy that we've changed. Just kind of, still fine-tuning, feeling stuff out. Oh, I can do this and stuff like that. So,
yeah, just trying to fine tune still, and hopefully it's enough.
Questions for Hunter Lawrence?
Yeah, did you
sorry,
get to check out the track? Did you get to check
Yeah,
that track?
yeah, we had a brief look at it. I don't tend to really walk the track just because I kind of feel like standing in our shoes or just standing on the track opposed to riding it. It looks two different complete ways rather than, when you're looking at it on the bike through your helmet and goggles. So I just take like one roll lap and then I like that.
Questions for Hunter. Clinton Fowler. Incredible year to finish your 250 career. This year, while it may have started a little bit rough, it's been pretty much an all-time rookie season. How do you rank it to some of the greats in your own mind?
I mean, it wasn't too rough at the start of the season. It wasn't ideal, but I mean, we're going in on how rough and terrible it was. I mean, it could have been worse still, but no, it's all right. I mean, I don't really compare it to the greats because I don't know. I'm just, like I said, every day I'm just head down, bum up. I'm just working. I don't really think of, how does my season compare to such and such or whoever. I just I'm just having fun, enjoying it. I don't think of myself as one of the greats or anything, so I just never really compare myself to that. I'm Hunter, and that's who I am, and I'm just trying to, paint my picture and my legacy.
I got one for you, Chase Sexton. Compared to when you left Charlotte and came into last week, now you're coming off a really dominant Moto win. And yes, we will pause for this jet again. I think you know where I'm going anyway.
This jet? That
Yeah,
jet?
this jet. We will let
Just
Jet talk,
clarifying.
and we will let the jet make noise. What is the confidence level this week compared to going into last week? Because now you're coming off a Moto win compared to Charlotte, and we got another plane coming in. Thank you. It's your tax dollars at work, everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think compared to last year, I started off really hot, and I went the opposite way I wanted to. I went downhill, and I think this year I started off not so hot, and hopefully just keep building. I think last weekend, even the first moto, I feel like I rode better. I just didn't get a great start, and second moto, better start, and rode pretty well. So I'm excited, and like I said, just trying to build. And I think we all kind of expected it to be a winner take all in this race with the triple points. So. Yeah, hopefully we peak for tomorrow.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Just a follow to that. Split start, similar to Charlotte, will turn to the inside instead of the outside. But do you guys start thinking about strategy-wise, knowing how important the starts have been in this series, start looking at where the other guy goes, or is it going to be simply which side is better, and I'm sticking with that no matter what?
It kind of depends on the ruts behind the gate is the first thing I think we all look for is, okay, what's the best rut after the gate to give ourselves the best drive and stuff like that. Not that there's a massive hole, but I don't know. Not really like set strategies now. I mean, it's just go out and try to win. That's all of our game plans, like we were saying, winner takes all. So that's the strategy, is to go win.
I'm just going to line up and go when the gate drops. It's my game plan.
Are you hoping for no flinches this week?
Well, I didn't flinch at all.
No. But so anybody else around you, yeah.
Yeah, let's hope no flinching, but I just hope I don't zone out like last time. I'm pretty sure I zoned out and just didn't go.
Yeah, this split start's a little different than the first round because it's like the one last year where you just kind of come in and we all come together. So, yeah, just the ruts and whatever one you feel the best on.
Kellen Brower here with Start Your Systems. For really all three of you guys, if I could just get a quick comment. Each of you have been in high-stakes championship battles before, but does this feel different pressure-wise, $1 million, winner-take-all?
Yeah, I'm buzzing to go out there now. It's it has obviously a little more pressure on it. I think honestly, I feel like it just makes it more exciting. I think it almost brings out the best of everyone. I feel like when you have a long kind of championship, we all would rather that. Oh, not long championship, sorry, a long points lead. We all would rather that because it's less stressful. But even then, you don't ride the same. I think, and obviously for the fans, it's obviously a lot more boring too. So I think it just adds that bit of excitement on. I think the adrenaline just rushes even more than the previous round. So I think it's just more exciting. Hopefully we can use the experience that we've had in our championship runs. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, either I'll win it or I won't. So that's just, it is what it is. It's racing. It's the same thing, you know, $1 million for a Supercross outdoor title as well. So that's it's just the last round of the season, tight points, and yeah, I don't know. We're just paid to race, and it's what we do. So.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting because I think normally you have these long seasons and either you kind of know where you're at and either you have a point seat or it's tight, but this one, you don't even have time to think about it. It's so short, and I feel like it was only 2 weeks ago we started this series. So, yeah, it's all gone by pretty fast, and tomorrow's going to be exciting. It's, winner take all, and I think all three of us are excited.
Hey, Chase. Last week after the race was over, you said in a couple interviews that really what you want is that trophy. And I think the reason for that, I understand that it sounds so funny, but that trophy would prove for the year you were the guy. You know, you are the guy for the year that won everything. And in this era that we're in right now, it's all time. I mean, the people that are on the starting line are some of the greats that we've ever seen. And for all three of you guys, I'd love to hear you talk about this. How would it feel to leave with that and know, for this year, I'm at the top of the class? Because the field that we're up against is some of the best we've ever seen.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really care what everyone else thinks. I just think the trophy's cool. That's really the bottom line. It just is the best one of the year, and it wasn't really more than just the trophy's cool.
I don't consider myself a materialistic person. The trophy's cool, but I just more into the $1 million direct deposit. That's
Yeah, I'm the same. I think I get more excited of the bonus hitting than the trophy. The trophy's sick, but I think the bonus hitting is definitely a little better.
And I understand that. Money's great. Like, we know all of that stuff is good. The prestige is great, but you guys are competitors, and you want to prove how good you are. You both said, Jed and Chase at Charlotte, you want to race the best guys every weekend and prove I am the best. How important is that to leave knowing I am the best? There's no denying it.
Well, when you win the $1 million, then you know you're the best because you get the $1 million in the end. So either way, it's still the same answer. It's $1 million we want to get.
If I win it, I'll sell you the trophy if you like it that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously important to win, but we all line up every weekend to win the race, and no matter who's on the gate, you just want to go out there and win. I think that's why we all got into racing, and tomorrow if you win, you get a little bit more than that, so it's going to be cool.
Hunter, last year at LA coming in, it was a winners all take situation in the 250. Now here in the 450, do you think the intensity was more trying to be the first ever 250 SMX world champion, or in the 450 class the intensity for you is more?
Tough question whether one, I mean, the 250 is $500,000 and this is $1 million, so you could say there's more intensity, but I don't really feel like it. Just I feel like my mental state coming into last year and this year is really the same, you know. Last year, unfortunately, I missed it just because of that Friday crash, so we're not setting any speed records today, that's for sure. Just get to tomorrow. But, yeah, I mean, like anything, when, you know, you're gambling or whatever it is, you're racing, the stakes are higher, the pressure and intensity does rise for sure.
Chase, we hear this term championship hangover thrown around, and if you look at 2023, Jet and Hunter both win respective championships, and then they have a really rough start to the SMX World Championships. Same kind of for you, for Charlotte, not your best round. Do you think that is a thing where it's really hard to get yourself back up, find that motivation again right after winning a championship?
I don't know if it's that. It was just I was so comfortable on my outdoor setup, and then when you throw something completely different back in, it just takes a little bit to adjust. And it's a long season, so I don't know if the motivation wasn't at an all-time high or I just wasn't comfortable, but all that kind of added up to me just being not very good at the first round. So, yeah, it's the final round of the year. It's been a long season, like everyone said, but the motivation is high at this one. I mean, it's hard not to have motivation. So, I'm excited, and yeah, like I said, I wanted to really build. I didn't want to come out and I mean, it would have been nice to win the first race or even the second race, but this is where it all counts.
Questions for Chase, Clinton Fowler. The two guys next to you are the best starters in the series. Is there anything you've done to prepare this week for the starts up against those guys?
Yeah, we've actually did some motor testing this week because I've started behind a Honda almost probably every start this year. So trying to fix that. These guys are obviously great starters, and the bike's obviously very good off the start. So we tried to change a few things, but yeah, it's a lot easier when you start ahead. And yeah, we did do some work this week to try and be better.
Johnny Hopper, speaking of starts, this is an unpopular opinion. We've seen lots of you guys, sometimes we see somebody get a bad start and the racing isn't the best. And as a fan, we want to just see really good racing, along with keeping you guys safe. And every other motorsport, they do staggered starts. What would you guys feel as far as qualifying and coming around the first turn in a position that you qualified for? You guys would be up front, all the major names, racing right from the get-go.
I'd like that because I feel like qualifying I'm doing pretty good, so it makes my life a little easier. But no, I think that this kind of takes out the excitement, you know. I think in F1, obviously, it's great. They have the staggered starts, and obviously they have to with that. But it just creates less, I feel like personally, less excitement, you know. I think with that, I mean, I don't have to, the pressure of nailing a start ain't as good, you know. Like, if you nail a start and you come around the first turn first and stuff like that, I think it's a lot more exciting because then you know you earned that first spot where, because a lot of people can put down a fast lap, you know. I think where then a lot of guys say they can't put a fast lap down, but then in the race they get a good start, they put log more laps down that are at that higher speed, you know. So I think it's probably a little silly to try and get that in, you know, like, and get the stagger starts, because obviously dirt bikes are one of the most known things for all lining up even and starting, you know. A lot of different sports are always staggered, you know.
Yeah, Hunter, staying on. Hunter and Jet, Adam Cianciarulo here, NBC Sports. I wanted to ask, ever since we went to the Great, obviously it evened it out a lot, and I feel like the start map became way more important. I know I could never get a start without it. How much you guys are so dang consistent on the starts? How much of that is you guys just being great at starts, and how much of that is the map?
Yeah, it's one thing that's really cool about our sport is unlike some other sports, I feel like the rider still makes up most of the package, you know, like whether, you know, car racing, it's whether you want to say 60-40 or 50-50 car and driver, where I feel like motocross, you can still have the best bike, the best equipment, everything, but if you're not putting in the work and gnarly and doing everything you can, you're not guaranteed to win, you know. So the starts, I mean, we've worked relentlessly at them, you know, on being on not the fastest 250s and stuff and not the fastest bikes growing up, so we always had to be absolutely perfect. The window for error or mistake on starts was always so tiny. So countless hours, obviously the teams help work with us, and we know exactly what we want, and yeah, a lot of hours to develop a good start map and stuff, but it's just a bunch of man hours.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. For all three of you guys, it's a high degree of likelihood that the tracks could be a little bit different tomorrow, running at night versus running on the day. What do you guys work on today to set yourself up for tomorrow, and what is the importance of practice in these rounds?
Running very, very dark lenses, so it's like just in case if the lights aren't the greatest, we like get kind of used to riding a little blind. No,
Really?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of that, a bit of duct tape, just to like kind of a little lesser vision. No, it's I think the biggest thing is trying to see how the track's going to form out. Because obviously the track's going to form different today. They're pumping a lot of water into it, and then obviously at nighttime we don't have the sun beaming on it, you know, and roasting it. So it's kind of more on the just the traction side of thing, and trying to read what it's going to be like maybe when it's tackier. So maybe the first one we might see what it's more like. It's just kind of a little just guessing game, really, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the two practices today just to learn the track, honestly, and we all do a lot of work during the week to try and be ready. But yeah, making those last final adjustments, and then tomorrow we have the first night race of this series. Last year we had Chicago, which was super dark and hard to see. So I think this one will be a little better. Obviously, we're in a drag way, so the lighting should be pretty good. But the track looks really fun, actually. A lot of different options, and it's a pretty big track, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, just learn the track and have some fun today and explore some lines.
Yeah, same here. Just learn the track, get a bit of a direction with the bike, and be ready to rock and roll for qualifying tomorrow.
Scott Yarja, Moto Now blog. Jet and Hunter, it's such a unique position where the two of you are fighting for $1 million tomorrow. How important is it as a family, as a Lawrence family, for either of you to take it home, or do you see yourself as competitors? Will you be sharing tips tomorrow or not talking to each other?
I think for us, mainly, it's just whatever Lawrence kind of wins, you know. Like, I think, well, obviously, out of everyone else, we have the best chance of winning because there's two of us as a Lawrence. We just, I think for us, like I said earlier, I don't think it really matter who wins out of either of us. It's kind of just making sure one of us wins, you know. I think it'll be a bit of a shame if none of us win, you know, of having two of us out there. So, no, it's just obviously, I think just having two of us out there, it's kind of a little bit of a team, you could say. But, yeah, we're obviously still going out there for ourselves to try and win. So it's just kind of going to be playing it by ear, obviously, while we're out there.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's like a casino. The house always wins, you know. If it's either one of us, for Dazzy and our mum, it's good, you know. They're happy either way. But yeah, as far as tomorrow and even this afternoon, as far as information, you know, with the team and our dad, like it's a fair playing game, you know. Both of us get the same amount of information. Dad will tell Jet where I'm better, and he'll tell me where Jet's better and stuff. So there's no secrets, no nothing. It's just put the helmets on and may the best man go win.
And Chase, quick follow-up. How does that feel to be, instead of 1v1, it's 1v2?
I kind of like it, actually. Obviously, they're brothers, and if I had a brother out here, I'd be the same way. So it is cool, and I think, yeah, it's obviously an individual sport, and it's not a team sport, but it just makes everything more interesting tomorrow. But I think between all three of us, we race each other really clean and respectable. So I think you'll see more of that tomorrow, and just go out there and, like Hunter said, whoever's the best man will win. So looking forward to that, and it's exciting.
All right, that's it. Let's hear it for our top 450 riders. Thanks, boys. They will be on the track in a bit. We will have riders out on the racetrack. I do want to say, we keep saying winner takes all. Second place does pay $500,000, and third does play $250,000. It's not. There's a lot of money for everybody, and that'll include all the other 450 riders and 250 riders who will be battling on the track. And a reminder again, it's a night race. We'll be starting our coverage on Peacock and the SMX Video Pass at 4:30 Eastern Time tomorrow, 1:30 here at the track. That's our qualifying show. And then we'll have a pre-race show at 9:30 Eastern, and we'll be racing at 10 Eastern. That's 7 o'clock here. Night race in Vegas. Don't miss it, folks. It's exactly the way that we advertised it. $1 million on the line in one class, $500,000 in another. We'll see who the Super Motocross World Champions will be tomorrow night.